And good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to Undercover ET UK. Oh, you're joking. Every time I start the live stream, I get a bloody radio hit straight away, and I think I saw the object there as I was moving the camera. Bloody hell. It's like I turned the camera on and boom, tagged straight away, and that time with a radar hit. Flipping awesome. Just going to go back and have a look at that. Just trying to turn the volume up. You might get a bit of feedback while I'm listening for this radio hit. Yeah, so I saw the object. Oh, K band. We got a K band. Got another one. Right, eyes on the screen, guys. Eyes on the screen. We have got some action. Now it's funny, this detector's been on for the last hour, and I've been on the phone to someone who's been talking to me about some evidence, and it went off twice while I was on the phone to them. Just random times. Now I've put the camera up, recording, and it's just going off like mad. But again, I don't know if we're catching objects that are below the camera's level or above. I definitely saw a black object on that first radio hit there, and it was above the camera, the line of the camera. I was looking out the window trying to line up the camera, and I saw it. It was just a flicker. I don't think that will happen, Josh, to be fair, mate. Seeing as Robert, a custodian file, has been doing this for 7 years, I think if they were really that bothered, they would have changed it up a long time ago. Now, I haven't got the point of reference cigarette butt there today. I'm just going to do one without it today. I feel like... I said Jay, didn't I? Did I say Josh again? I'm going to have to listen to this back now. I feel like I said Jay. I said Jay, didn't I? I did say Josh. Oh my God! Why do I keep calling you Josh? Why the hell does the missus call up every day around the same time that I go live? Piss off! Every day, mate. I'm not answering now, and she's like still calling during the when she's on her lunch. Yeah, I need to give my edit. Right, there's that. Bloody hell. Did someone see that?
Attention please. K-band.
Literally, this thing only went off twice in an hour, and I didn't have the camera set up. Now, since I put the camera up, it's just been going mental. Morning, Zen. How are you? Oh, that was a little something on the right hand side there as well. Yeah, still hard at it, mate.
Attention please. K-band.
Mate, these things are fucking with me. They seem to be flying below and above my camera's line of sight here. So we're getting the radio hits, but I'm not always getting the object. Okay. Do you know what? I'm going to just zoom out a little bit. Not zoom in, just take it out a little bit so that we might get a bit more.
Attention please. K-band.
Are you having a laugh? Just going to aim the detector up a little bit more now. It's a 360 detector at the end of the day. Like, it will detect everything all around, but at the same time, I want to capture the objects in the moment. Really dark bit of cloud up there. Do you know what? I just want to catch a little bit more of that bush there, like we had it before. Let's see if I can get a bit more bush. There we go. Look, that's better, isn't it? Got our point of references back. That's the shot. That's what we want. Yeah. So tonight's video, guys, I got a video on Tic Tac and pencil neck UAP. So we've had a few people sending in some evidence, and we've had a few of these pencil UAP, and really good stuff. Really good. So that's what we're showing tonight. Slightly different to these dragons. They're a little bit longer. Had a really interesting conversation with a guy called Jimmy that's been watching the show this morning on the phone for like an hour, and he's going to be popping over to mine next week to show me what he's been capturing. But some interesting stuff, really interesting stuff. He's got 3 or 4 cameras attached to his property, and he's been capturing all sorts of different objects at night, and during the day, and potentially some mimicking birds as well. So we're going to look at it. Always want a bit more bush, Jay. Alright, I need to go and make some coffee, I think. Unless I've already made one. Oh, I can't see my cup, which means I've left it in the kitchen. It's not good. Right, so again, we started the video getting all kinds of radio detections. Let's see what we get. And you know what? My video for tonight's already done, so I'm good to just stay live for as long as it takes. Also, folks, please consider a membership. You can get into the Discord server that way, and we can collaborate. You can download all the evidence that I've shown, download pictures, even post your own, and you'll have access to really critical thinking minds in this game. And this is what we need. We need everyone to get on board, and we need evidence to start coming out of our ears so that we can convince scientists and the government to start pushing funding in the right places, e.g. the right cameras that could capture these things, infrared cameras for nighttime, motion detectors, radar detectors, all that sort of stuff. We can get it all from them, we just need to convince them that this is real. This is a real thing, right? So this is what we need to do. Was that actually taken out in space, Gordon? Yeah, they used to. I mean, there used to be a UFO desk in the MI5 building. That was run by Nick Pope. But ultimately, you know, it never led anywhere. It was just a desk to take on calls for UAP sightings, and it was his job to try and debunk whatever he could, you know. But that's as far as it went. I don't think there was ever a file of videos that couldn't be explained, which then went mainstream. They kept it all pretty hush-hush. And you know, even to this day now, they don't even discuss it. The only one that does discuss it is Nick Pope himself. No one else actually discusses it. I'm sure there's things he can't say anyway. Okay, so it's in Mexico, Gordon. Interesting, man. I will take a look, of course. Anything that's just come around, I will have a look at it. It never is it, Zen? And it's funny, I was talking to Jimmy earlier on, and he would have shown me a lot of stuff before, but he was concerned about what I might think and what other scientists. And I said to him, please don't worry about what other people think, especially scientists, because let's be honest, the scientific community are in complete denial with this topic. Oh, that was one. That was really quick, really fast, that one. No radar hit, but it was clearly there. Yeah, so look, I mean, when people rely so heavily on the scientists, right, but they don't even believe in this stuff. They've got no way of really measuring it because they don't have the tools to measure it. So this is where there's a grey area, you know, and a lot of scientists stay away from this because it also really throws everything they've ever learned in university out the window, and people do not want to admit that there is more out there. So, you know, scientists that are willing, the ones like Avi Loeb, Eric Weinstein, these guys are thinking out of the box now because they realise this stuff is real, it's out there. But it's only 2 scientists, you know, Gary Nolan as well. There's only a handful of scientists that are looking into this. Every other scientist won't want to touch it. They just don't want to touch it. Plus they lose grant money as well, yeah. I mean, the moment they start talking about this stuff, their credibility goes, right? For some reason, the people that are in charge of their projects, they just go, nah, sorry, if you're going to start talking like this, we're not going to fund you. And that's why it doesn't get put out there. I'm sure people have tried, and a lot of people in the scientific community have even discussed it. Shall we go forward with this? And then no. The conclusion is no, you know. So it becomes private study, not made public. Yeah, they do it on purpose. So the difference here, I guess, I'm not a scientist, but I don't care about people's opinion at all. I'm not in it to get rich or be famous, although it may come with the territory should this blow up one day. But that's my goal is simply disclosure. It's simply it's all I care about. And I, like Jimmy was saying earlier on, like, you know, you can't be like that with some of the viewers, and you know, you're very opinionative. I am, because I'm just sticking to my guns. You know, I'm just sticking to my guns. I'm not here to gain hundreds of thousands and millions of viewers and make it as a YouTuber. I'm here for disclosure. That's it. I don't, you know, if someone wants to back, then we will back as well. Hello. Welcome, Richard. Welcome, Susu. Yeah. I think we all begin off with a personal study, right? Just on a personal level, try and work out what these things are. Yeah, I am doing science now. Yeah, I am doing the science. You could say it's the science, but again, until they develop something that can capture something at 1,000 frames per second, which they already have, by the way, but until they implement it over the skies to capture UAP, it's just, yeah, that could be anything. It would be really cool if they said, look, we've got $50,000, $100,000 or pounds, and we want to invest in a camera to look at our skies, you know. That would be awesome. Oh yeah, Carl Crusher. Is that the guy from Skinwalker Ranch, yeah? Carl Crusher? Now, I haven't watched it, but he didn't claim to summon an orb and then one appear 100 miles away from his location, did he? Because that would be very much on the same line as polarity. When someone says they've summoned an orb, I fully expect the orb to be right above them and interacting with the person. If they've suddenly seen an orb 10, 20, 30, 50 miles away from them, I can't honestly say that they've summoned it. That's just where I'm at. Cool. In which case, that sounds like a genuine summon of an orb. Cool. No, I haven't seen it yet. I'm just saying, like, just got to take things with a pinch of salt until, you know, because a lot of people claim that stuff. Like, I can claim that I've asked for UAP to come by my window and then it's happened instantly, right? But let's be honest, that UAP was on the way to my window before I said it. You know, like, that's what I mean. Like, just got to be thinking critically. But if he summoned it and he interacted with it, then cool. Yeah, I mean, there is truth to it, absolutely. There's just a lot of people out there that talk shit. This whole psionics thing is blown up massively, and you know what? If it's a real deal, if it's genuine, then people will start summoning these things all over the world, and it won't be hidden. You won't be able to keep it hidden, right? Let's see what happens there. Be very interested to see if that ever blows up. Cool. Oh, I'm sure it's real. I'm sure it's. I've not seen it. I'm just making you guys aware that, you know, people try it all the time. Just be careful. Ooh, there's some subtle movements. 12:30. Yeah, maybe. It's about that time. Perception's a funny thing, you know. I know people that have genuine experiences and then will record something that's not a genuine experience, and they won't know how to pick it apart. They will just put it on the list of experiences they've had, and some of them are defiant. No, 100%, this is what's happening, I know it to be true. And I'm like, oh well, this is the mixed bag we're getting, see? It's difficult. It's difficult. Christian Hoffman. How the devil are you, buddy? I'm loving this. The community comes together when I come on live. I know there's only 12 of us watching, but it's the same 12, right? Normally. It's quite cool. Getting a lot of open discussion in. So if you just tuned in, we started the stream. The radio detector was going mental. I had the detector on about an hour before I actually started the stream. It went off twice during a phone call. And so I thought, well, let's get the camera on. And as soon as I put the camera up, we got tagged straight away. So again, I'm just hoping for a clear as day hockey puck that come past with a radio hit. And that's what I'm after. This is what we're looking for, guys. I can see. Well, I don't know much about tech either, mate. So the way I understand it regarding radio frequencies, okay. Let me just pull up the picture actually, because it'll be a hell of a lot easier for me to explain. If I can find it. Yes. Okay. So radio bands. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 9 different radio bands. Okay, you've got L band, S band, C band, X band, KU band, K band, KA band, V band, and W band, and they all run at different gigahertz. Okay, now there are different frequencies. When you tune in your radio, you're looking for FM, you're looking for a specific frequency, and the radio show will run on that frequency, okay? So what we're doing, we're getting radio hits from these UAP, and they're giving us an X band and a K band frequency, okay, which is between 8 and 12 gigahertz and 18 to 24 gigahertz. Why? I don't know. I don't know what they're doing in that moment for them to produce such a frequency, but they are. And all I know is honestly that bugs don't give off those radio frequencies, so that's where we're at. Possibly, Christian. Again, it's speculating. Until we see any evidence, that's just a hypothesis, but yeah, it could be. What do you mean normal? So all I'm saying, I guess, then, is that we've got 9 radio frequencies that we know how to measure, and they emit 2 of them. There's nothing normal about what we're seeing in terms of. Well, it's not. No, it's not. So, like, human beings won't give off an X-ray. So, I mean, put it this way: if they did, everyone's car would be going off. You know, if they've got a speedometer in their car, and you know, like the little boxes that tell you when there's a speed camera approaching, or you're approaching a speed camera, and it goes off. It's because it's picking up a certain radio frequency, which tells the box that there's something coming up that you need to slow down for, right? And this is much the same. Just sort out the focus there. It's much the same thing. I don't really know why they let off the frequencies they do, what the purpose is, or what they're doing. Maybe it's just, like I say, maybe it's just that they're communicating with another object in that moment, and we're just getting that frequency, that split moment frequency. Who knows? Well, again, Christian, time travel, is it really called time travel? Or is it just called travel? You know, because time doesn't exist apparently. So again, we're getting into deep stuff here, but essentially if time doesn't exist, then these are just moments that are happening and overlapping one another. Each moment is overlapping and happening at the same time as this moment, right? So you could be moment traveling. You could travel between moments, right? But time doesn't really exist, because if you take our sun away from the planet, you've just got a dark Earth. It will be nighttime 24/7, and that's how we measure time. It's night and day. We'll take the daytime away, and you've just got night, and then there's no way of measuring time. You know, so it's a construct. It's man-made. Exactly. It's all in the now. It's all in the right this second. Whatever's happened before, whatever's going to happen, it's all happening in the moment, as opposed to happening over time. So this is just how we perceive it, you know. We perceive these things. Even Robert Shape says that he knew a time traveller. Now, that's the only way he can explain it that people will understand. But when you get into it all, he's not really a time traveller. He's a traveller, you know. It's a bit like these, I heard, again, this is another theory, that these ETs measure 1 year in a totally different way to us. So we measure 1 year we take how long it takes the sun to go round the Earth. Sorry, we calculate how 1 year, 365 days, right? We calculate that based on astronomy, based on the objects in space and the movement of our Earth, right? That's the way to put it. The way the ETs determine 1 year or a set amount of a period of time or a period of moments is by their DNA evolution. So when their DNA evolves from the first stage to the second stage, that is their 1 year approximately. That's what I heard. You know, again, it's just a theory, but it's an interesting one because how else would you measure any length of anything if you haven't got a sun, right? Hiya, Eshol. Good to see you. Aaron, did you? Possibly. There have been some fast-moving objects that are showing up. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, back to my point with the radio detector. Like, if birds and bugs set these things off, everyone's cars would be going mental every day. You know, it's a fact. They don't set them off. And this is what I'm using. It's a car radio detector. So pointing it at the sky. There's no speed cameras anywhere around here. Nothing's going to give me a signal other than the UAP. You know. Yeah, it must be the same concept, right? Just obviously using our physical towers as opposed to what they use. But I mean, they take an interest in our power lines as well, by the way. You know, so who knows what they're doing with this stuff or how they really work. It's interesting. I was also discussing again with Jimmy earlier on about movement of these things. So these things love movement, like this, which is why Ben in Cornwall can throw a frisbee into the air or a roll of gaffer tape, and these things will interact. I think they look for anything that moves, and we were discussing why that might be. And we've got various. There's a couple of different reasons as to why they might tag everything that moves, and it would just be interesting to find out exactly why, you know, so that we can learn a little bit more. Atom and molecular. You've said that in German, so I assume that's. Oh, there you go. Look, here we go. Action from right all the way. It came in right, and then just darted across the camera there. Well, it was across the camera. That object was about 100 yards away from the camera. But that's a UAP. So yeah, they are out there, guys. Keep watching. Let's see if we can capture some more. Get a radio hit with it as well would be ideal. And please, guys, if you haven't already, smash the like button. It does help the algorithm, to be honest, on all the videos. So please do it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It's free to do. We show UAP on this channel, only UAP as well. You could call some debatable, but we ultimately are looking for the same objects, and we show a hell of a lot of the real stuff every single week. So please keep in contact with us. Send in your evidence as well. It's all about the public's evidence. It's not about mine. Although I'm doing it here with a radar detector and everything, it's all about your evidence. Because if I promote you guys, promote the evidence that you send in, this gets out there a lot quicker. If I was just to work on my own stuff, I would just be called a faker, and that would be it. And we don't want that. We need some real credible stuff getting put out to the public, ideally. Interesting, man, interesting. Lost a bit of focus there. The sun's come out and just... There we are. Back to normal. Definitely quite glitchy, this camera. When an object goes past, it really will take the camera back and... I know when the focus is right, because that tree gets really in focus here. That's the only way I can put it. That's the one. If it stays like that, when those branches on the tree are more defined like that, that's how it should be, right? Exactly, then. Exactly. The world is moving on from not being able to talk about it to slowly being able to talk about it. Slowly. I wouldn't recommend going to see your doctor about it, because you'll end up getting the same reaction as I did, but slowly but surely, it's becoming more open. That's it, just a tweak downwards, I think, was that's it. Once I've got those buildings in the shot, the focus tends to hold quite well, so I'll just keep it like that, guys. The weird thing is I'm not pointing upwards, I'm pointing pretty much downwards, you know, but I'm just high up in there, so they tried. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, that will work. So I got lucky, I bought this radio detector, and it just so happens that I've got a power lead which fits into the side of it. And it doesn't fit great, but it generates power to the detector. So I can now have this out my window without worrying about it. But yeah, otherwise they come as box standard with in-car chargers, and of course I'm not in a car, I'm at my window, so. I do have a Discord channel, buddy, yeah, but it is for members only. We're trying to keep the riffraff out from everyone else, if you can understand. We've got a couple of remote viewers in the channel, and Robert the Custodian File, John at Latchkey Hustle. So I'm trying to keep it to people that are serious about the topic. And I can't justify inviting someone to the server without taking the membership now. So yeah, I mean, if you want to take even just the basic membership, the hockey puck one, I am going to open the Discord server to all members, because I feel like we just need to get everyone in there. But I've got to call it a paywall. I just got to try and separate the nitwits who will flood the Discord server if I make it open. To the people that want to do the real research. So yeah, that's why I keep screaming, become a member. We want our critical thinkers to be members, so that we can discuss, share evidence, etc., etc. Cool. Yeah, get some dragons. Yeah, record landscape about 20% zoom. Even more if you know that they're in sight. If you're capturing the dragons, you know they're there. You can go in and do a big zoom like I do, and occasionally get a really close-up picture. But otherwise, 20% zoom, landscape, record for about 3 to 5 minutes. Try and keep the files small, and then if you want to keep recording, just stop record, hit record again, and just keep the files as small as you can. You don't need to be really aiming stupidly high in the sky, although helicopters and planes help. But like here, I'm just recording above the tree line and the houses here, and I'm getting lucky. Robert does say, like, aim for a helicopter or a plane, because it'll increase your chances, and he's right. You know, you don't need to record all day if you just film planes and helicopters. But if I do this live, it doesn't actually take any data, any memory. It doesn't save the video on my phone. It just gets uploaded straight to YouTube. So happy days. I haven't got to worry about memory. I haven't got to worry about all those little things that you normally would when you're out recording for the, trying to record these UAP. Really, really good though that we can do this. And I would love to. What do you know? What I would love is for my members to be in the Discord server, and for 4 or 5 people to join the voice chat and share your screens and actually just have a live cam up. That would be brilliant, because then we could look at several live cams at the same time, and ideally different countries as well. It's going to be awesome. It will be awesome. We're also going to do UFO meetup, so we're going to have several cameras situated, in the same area at different angles. We're going to try and bait the UAP in, so we're going to get drones out into the sky. We're going to do various different things, different tests. We'll use frisbees. We'll use rolls of tape. We'll use whatever we need to try and get some interaction from these things, and we'll get it all on camera. I'm sure we'll get it all on camera. Come on, UAP, let's go. I want a nice close-up like we got 2-3 days ago. We got those close-ups, and they were so big in size. They must have been 100 yards away from the camera to be that big. And you know, obviously going past really fast, so we don't see them for a long time. But if I can get a close up with a radio hit, I'd be loving it. I will do, mate. I will do. Let's have a quick look. I have subscribed. Oh, mate, yeah, I like it, buddy. I like it. Well, I will be taking a look at this, my man, and I will share it on my channel. Why not? I'm gonna. Yes, absolutely. Looks good, mate. Looks good. Looks like what we're seeing all the time. Yeah, just expect me to pull your channel up at some point, mate. JT Hoss. Okay, Aaron, thanks for that, mate. Noted. I'll have to have a look out after my live stream, because if I play it now, you're just going to get loads of interference. Thanks, JT. I will, mate. I will. Please support the channel. Support me. I'll support you. We support each other, and we end up in a good place, right? That's the plan. I will, Aaron. I will, mate. Thank you. I mean, I've got to look back at that, because I've wanted to capture an orb for some time now. So if you're saying that I've got an orb there, I need to look at it, because I've been asking for an orb for a couple of days now. Obviously, we've had the dragons. I've even had the X-ray. You know, so one of these things darted behind the building to the right-hand side there, and you see where the roof pitches. It's kind of like the white corner part of the roof. You could see the silhouette of the X-ray right through that thing, and yeah, these things are amazing. They really are. Also had a discussion earlier on about these things potentially going through the earth, and we've actually witnessed this. We've got the evidence on the channel that these things can go through concrete and wool. And I asked the question earlier on, like, how long would it actually take one of these objects if they was to go through the ground and come out the other side? So go right through the earth, right through the core, and come out the other side. How long would it take them, do you think? Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely look at it, mate, for sure. For sure. So I guess these videos are going to get more crazy as the sun comes out. We're probably going to end up with lots of bugs, right? And lots of lots of things to contend with as it gets warmer. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to be testing our might and our analytics when it all kicks off with the bugs in the UK. I tell you. Oh, what was that? It's quick. It's quick. Oh. Oh, that's a UAP. Very faint. It looks like an out of focus bug, but then it just stops and checks me out just at the edge of my window there. It kind of pops back, looks, and then goes back. Cheeky bugger. That thing actually checked me out then. It went past the window, right, on the right hand side, and then just came back just an inch and had a good look at me. Yeah. Yeah, mate, I'm just so used to looking at these things now. It's, you know, sometimes I look at an object and I go, oh, that's fast, but it wasn't quite fast enough, you know, and I go back and it's a bird. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's a bird. It just takes a little bit of practice, that's all. But honestly, like, the problem that I've got with this, the analysing of evidence like this, is it takes a lot in order for someone to become proficient at it. But it's so damaging to the eyes. Like, my eyes are completely screwed from doing all this analysation. And I don't want to promote it so that people damage their eyes, but you need a big screen and you need to be quite close to the screen to see these things. So it is what it is, you know. Hopefully one day it don't get to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm going blind and I've got to stop now. But yeah, just be careful, guys. If you're gonna get into analysing videos and stuff, just little and often, you know, rather than often and long duration, because you end up with bad eyes. Now these things are they clearly know I'm recording them now. They know I'm onto them. They probably know I'm putting them on the internet, and they must know I've got a radio detector there as well. They got to know. I guess the question is, do they care enough? Do they care enough to do something about it? There's also a theory that these things give off some kind of infrared to the phones, and it actually helps them. It actually allows them to show themselves, which is why they're always in front of people's cameras. You know, like we've been saying for months, how it just seems that someone pulls out a mobile phone and they're getting tagged. I feel like these things just suddenly go, oh look, they've got their phone out. There's a chance that they can see us. Let's get out in front of these guys and show ourselves. Like, there's so many different theories. Just decent brains, mate. That's all it is, man. You're just critically thinking about this stuff as I am, you know. Does anyone know how many miles it is to the Earth's core? I'm sure that someone could Google it quickly, but how many miles would it be from the planet's surface to the Earth's core? And then I guess you just double that figure and you get the circumference of the Earth, right? Which would be what, 21,000 miles? Something like that. I mean, let's say it's 10,000 miles to the Earth's core. Let's say that the whole circumference is 20,000 miles. That means that these UAP going at 2,000 miles an hour could get from one side of the Earth to the other in 10 seconds. 10 seconds and they could be halfway around the world. That would be a mad. Do you know what? That would be a mad experiment. If I could find the exact point, you know, if I went downstairs, went into my car park, and I went, right, I need to find out the exact point. If I was to drill and go all the way down, where would I come out? You know, and if I came out in, like, I don't know, Australia or somewhere like that, or Japan or somewhere, it would be really interesting if we could then get someone on the other end to record that same spot, and then just summon a UAP to say, look, go through the Earth and come out the other end. That would be awesome. I mean, virtually impossible to set up, but could you imagine if we actually got a result like that, where a UAP went through the Earth in Japan and came up at the exact same point in the UK? Oh, wait. Radio hit. That's coming up as K, was that KA band? K band. Did anyone see it? I don't understand why it's so dark. It's so dark down there. Come on, give me some. And see, like, I can get it looking really light down there, and then I hold it up, and I lose a bit of light somehow, some way. Let me just readjust. Basically, I don't want to lose objects that are zipping low as well as high, you know? At the same time, I don't want to be pointing it at someone's flat as well, so let's try and avoid that if we can. Catch-22, innit? Catch-22 situation. Right. Fast object that just moved then as I was stabilising the camera. Getting the odd bit of flickering going on. Have we got a little bit of rain maybe? Again, I've just got to take this this camera away from that window there. Are you guys frantically going through that radar hit now, trying to figure out where that thing was? Can't see it yet myself. Alright, we're going to just try our best to tweak this. I'm not quite happy with what we're getting there, guys. I feel like we could get a bit of brightness on these buildings at least. It's really not that dull out there. I don't know why the camera don't give us the shot we're after, but I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna go full zoom so that I haven't got to piss around with that house too much. I'm going to go in at an angle now, so we're going to take a little bit more of a look at the left side from this window here, so that we're not directly at people's homes, you know. There we go. Got a bit of colour there as well. A little bit less sky, but that's all right. We can see beyond the bush. The radio hit. The problem is I'm limited to what I can do with the camera once I'm live. It doesn't give me options to start pissing around with the, you know. Retouch on. I could turn the light on, but that'd do nothing for me. Let's have a look at my actual phone settings here. Blue light filter, no, that's for the screen itself. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I was just trying to mess around there with some settings to see if there's anything I could do to That's actually not too bad, what we've got there. We can see above and below, the buildings have been lit up there, so I can, that's better, that's a bit better. I'll take that. Right, radar detector has a wide band of view, so to speak, so you could be picking up things on the ground level even though you have it pointed upwards. You're right, you're correct, yeah. It could. But that would also mean that there needs to be a radar signal point like from down below. You know, I've got 2 car parks down below me, and nothing's moving. You would hear the cars starting up if anything was being started up. So yeah, I mean, there ain't a lot down there, to be honest. It goes for about 800 meters, so apparently double the distance of these trees. I'm not seeing that, to be honest. I don't think it will go that far. Here comes the rain. Looks like we're going to have a bit of a shower. Funny, isn't it? Because it rained yesterday, and they looked like black dots when it rained yesterday. Now it actually just looks like rain. Same thing though, definitely was raining. Yeah, Gordon. That's why I was trying to mess with the camera to get it lower down, because I feel like I know for a fact I've captured Dragon UAP much lower down than I have higher up here. And that's why I just moved it down a little bit to see if I could maybe get something zip past that's just below the lens of the camera, you know? Kind of defies the point if they're going to start flying too high or too low above the detector and the camera. That would get frustrating. So yeah, hopefully we get some captures now. I've pointed down a little bit. Rain stopped, which is good. Very, very cool. Right, that's the shot. I think I'm quite happy with that. To be fair, I'm quite happy with this. We've had quite a few captures with this very shot. Got lots of point of reference, so I'm going to keep it like this. Yeah, that's all right though. We can live with this. It's not. This isn't too bad. I definitely saw the very first K-band hit that we got. As soon as I started the session, it went off and I was physically looking up because I was trying to set the camera and I was looking out there to see which direction I was trying to point in. And I saw this black object zip past as the radio detector went off. But it was just fuzzy on the camera because I was moving the camera around. That's 2 days in a row, by the way, that I've turned the camera on and it's gone off straight away. It's almost like I start recording and they're onto me like instantly. Let me tell you exactly which way I'm facing, buddy. You know, it's quite easy to get caught up with which way I'm going here. Let's have a look. Google Maps. The river's there. We're pointing downwards. South. We are pointing south, which I kind of knew already. We're pointing sort of towards Salisbury, Stonehenge area, Warminster, that kind of. I'm pointing towards there. So I'm in Wiltshire. So yeah, I'm kind of like northern part of Wiltshire, and yeah, I'm just straight south. I'm beginning to wonder, you know, if this camera, I've got another phone here, which supposedly got a better camera. I mean, it has, to be fair. To be fair.
Attention please. K-band.
K-band, K-band. Anyone see anything then?
Attention please. K-band.
Oh, it's gone off again.
Attention please. K-band.
What's going on? Do you think that's because I pointed the camera of my phone at the radio detector? No, it's not working. It's not happening now. I've just hovered my phone over the radio detector with the camera on. It's not doing anything. So I'm not sure what was going on there. It just kicked off. I mean, if I was getting bounced from buildings, it'd be going off every second, wouldn't it? Or every couple of minutes? So something happened above the roof as I said, what's going on?
Attention please. KA band.
Another one. I'm just trying to look at the other one, so I've missed that one as well. I'm trying to look at the older one. Sorry if the live feed just cut off there. I was just trying to sign into my YouTube on another phone because this phone's got a better camera, and I'm thinking I could actually record better quality from this phone, which is going to be good. That is science, man. That's science. Guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change my phones. Okay, so I'm going to cut this live feed off and I'm going to go live on my other phone. Okay, I feel like I'm going to get better quality, so please join me over on the new live feed shortly. I'll just cut this one now and we'll go straight into it on the other phone there.